In this world, the most expensive asset is not gold, nor diamonds, nor oil. The most expensive asset is the truth. This is because the truth is a grain of sand trapped between the gears of the system, and for those gears to keep turning, that grain of sand must be removed. Most people believe that justice can be bought with money. However, the system does not run on justice, it runs on silence. Speaking is free, but remaining silent carries a distinct, cold price tag at every level. Let us now descend into the dark corridors of courthouses and calculate exactly how much your voice is sold for in this system. Remember, this is not a moral fable. This is strictly a market of silence. Level 1. The Trap of Despair. You have no money in your pocket, and you depend entirely on minimum wage to survive. At your workplace, you witness a massive corruption scheme, an injustice, or a blatant violation of someone's rights with your own eyes. Your innate, pure sense of justice urges you to speak up, but when you look up at your manager's office, you confront reality. The price of your silence is exactly $0. The system does not spend a single penny to silence you. Your fear of being fired is more than enough. The fear of unable to pay next month's rent, losing the bread on your table, and facing starvation serves as the strongest steel lock on your mouth. You are simply too poor to defend your principles, and the system knows your vulnerability all too well. You bow your head, return to your desk as if you saw nothing, and quietly continue to work. Level 2. The Severance Counter. You are one level higher, working as a senior foreman in a standard factory. You notice a hidden defect on the products on the assembly line that jeopardizes human health, and you report it to management. A few days later, you are summoned to the cold, leather-seated human resources room. They place a file in front of you containing a $10,000 severance differential or an early retirement bonus. Naturally, it is accompanied by a small paper written in dense legal jargon. You cannot speak against the company. To you, $10,000 represents a year and a half of savings. The idealist within you hesitates for a moment, but the warmth of the money drowns out the cold voice of your conscience. You take the pen, sign the document, and bury that truth in the darkest corner of your mind, never to be uncovered again. Level 3. The Golden Handcuffs. NDA. You are a senior software engineer or data analyst at a major technology or financial firm. You discover that the company is illegally selling or manipulating the personal data of millions of users. When you decide to resign, the HR director extends a $100,000 severance package. The actual name of this package, however, is a non-disclosure agreement. You are fully aware that if you leak this secret, you will face multi-million-dollar lawsuits that you could never pay off in your lifetime. While $100,000 can build you a brand new life, speaking out means the system will completely annihilate you financially. At this level, silence is no longer a request, it is a legal shackle. You transfer the money to your bank account, shut down your computer, accept your status as a slave to the system, and sink into silence. Level 4. The Elite Discretion. You are the personal assistant to a billionaire businessman, one of the most powerful elites in the city. One night, you directly witness a severe crime committed by your boss, a scandal that shatters someone's life. The next morning, your boss's private attorney invites you to the lobby of a luxury hotel near the courthouse. There are no threats on the table, nor any stern facial expressions. There is only a highly polite smile. The lawyer places a $1 million consulting contract before you to be transferred to an offshore account. This sum ensures that you and your children will never have to work again. You know very well that if you go to the police, the case will drag on for years, the media will crush you, and ultimately nothing will change. The pursuit of justice suddenly becomes meaningless, and the truth holds no power against the massive weight of money. You slowly move the pen, sign your name, and promise to completely erase the memories of that night. Level 5. Institutionalized compliance. You are the chief researcher at a global pharmaceutical company. You definitively prove in laboratory reports that a newly developed drug, which is about to be launched on the market, has lethal long-term side effects. The board of directors wants to shelve the report, and you threaten to go to the press. At that exact moment, the company chooses not to fight you. Instead, it allocates a massive silence budget for you. A $50 million research fund is transferred to your laboratory, your salary is quintupled, and you are granted a prestigious title. If you speak up, you will become a hero and end up unemployed. If you remain silent, you will continue to serve science as a millionaire. The system smothers you in money, entrapping you in such a profound comfort zone that you begin to lie to your own conscience. You destroy the fatal report, focus on your new project, and trade the fate of humanity for cash. Level 6. Corporate erasure. You are a board member of a major investment bank, and you know that the bank is orchestrating a massive fraud network capable of triggering a global financial crisis. If this information leaks, billions of dollars will evaporate and governments will collapse. A few idealist journalists catch wind of the situation and take action to report it. But at this level, individuals are not silenced directly. Instead, the media conglomerates they work for are bought out entirely. The massive fund that owns the bank injects $1 billion into the news agency or directly acquires its shares. The next day, that major investigative piece is completely pulled. The journalists are terminated, and the public agenda is abruptly shifted to a trivial celebrity scandal. $1 billion can completely reset the memory of an entire society within a single day. The truth reduces to a conspiracy theory known by a few, yet provable by none. Level 7. The orchestrators of reality. You are at the pinnacle. You belong to that tight oligarchic circle that manages global central banks, trillion-dollar military funds, and international trade routes, crashing a country's economy, engineering an artificial famine, or financing a war represents nothing more than a few figures on a spreadsheet to you. The crimes committed at this level are so colossal that they require no laws or contracts to cover them up. You are the very benefactor funding the lawmakers, politicians, and international courts. United Nations reports are drafted through the donations of your foundations. History textbooks are printed with your corporate money, while the child at level 1 remains silent out of the fear of starvation over a minor workplace injustice. You are rewriting the future of humanity to suit your own interests. Your silence has no price tag. You do not remain silent. You simply decide what the world will talk about. Do you know why the eyes of the statue at the entrance of courthouses are blindfolded? It is not because she weighs everyone equally and remains impartial. It is because she cannot bear to see how the colossal hush money placed on the scales of justice completely chokes out the voice of truth. Laws are like spiderwebs. They catch the small flies, while the giant wasps crash right through them. In this system, truth is merely a luxury property sold to the highest bidder. The system keeps the wheel of silence turning infinitely by exploiting the desperation of the penniless and utilizing the power of the wealthy. Now look into the mirror and ask yourself that cold question. At which level of this system is your voice completely muted, or have you already taken your share of the silence money? Deep inside every human being, there is a conscience waiting to awaken. However, the system has long since calculated the cost of that awakening and recorded it in its accounting ledger. Money does not merely purchase buildings, cars, or luxurious lifestyles. Money buys the collective memory of humanity and the very course of history. Everything you watch on television today or read on the internet is the byproduct of a silence that someone paid for. Every silenced engineer, every hidden report, and every deleted camera recording serves as fuel for that massive machine, and that machine will only grow larger as long as you remain silent.